Okay, great. So just a little background about Summer's Edge. We have been around for 30 years. We're celebrating our 30th anniversary this summer. And we have a tennis camp that was established in 1991 and a day camp established in 1991 and a tennis school established in 1993. The unique thing about Summer's Edge is this is our leadership team, and we've all been together for almost all of the 30 years of the existence of the camp. So these are sort of the founders along with my brother and I, and we've been working on the Summer's Edge mission for all this time. So we have our primary goal is to just sort of take things back a step and make Summer's Edge a place where kids can just be kids and they can be themselves. And we have these core values that you see on the left-hand side of the screen that we sort of have as part of our community. And each week, there's 8 of them, and each week the counselors will talk about in camp community time with their group, they'll talk about each one of these words, what they mean, what they look like, and we do a little character enhancement lesson with them once a week. That's a big part of our camp. And then we have some different programs. So we have our day camp, which is our traditional recreational day camp with swimming and sports, and it's 9 to 3:30. It's for campers ages 4 to 14. And it includes, there's optional swimming this year, and the swimming is indoors, but the camp will be mostly outdoors this year. Then we have a tennis school program that's indoors, and it is for children 6 to 10 years old. And we have a half-day program and a full-day program. So we have, they leave before lunch, some campers, and some campers stay with us for the entire day. We are accredited by the American Camp Association, and we're very proud of that accreditation. That's a voluntary accreditation that we go through with outside visitors coming and inspecting our program. So where we're located is at Minuteman Technical High School. It's in Lexington. It's conveniently located off of Route 2A. It's at 758 Merritt Road, and it is a brand new school that we have not had the luxury of being in yet. We've been at Minuteman for 11 years, 11 of our 30 years, and they leveled the old building and they built a new building, and then the global pandemic hit and we did not open last year to be in this brand new, beautiful building. If I were able to give you a tour, I would, but we're not allowed on campus till June, till school is out. So here's a virtual tour. This is the gymnasium, and in the gymnasium, it's bigger than the old gymnasium. That's where the tennis program happens. Now, this is our tennis program in 2019. And you can see that we don't have to do too much change in the COVID regulations because we basically space everybody out anyway. And so the campers, maybe we could spread the campus out a little bit more, and they will have masks on as well as the coaches this year. But this is our junior program where they're learning how to stroke, and the nets are a little shorter, and they get individualized attention from the coach on their court, usually a 1-to-5 or less ratio. Then we have a regulation court where they do some drilling with more advanced players, and they are working on the volley. And this is some of the practice sessions that happen in the morning. Then we have some indoor space for extremely hot days or rainy days. And so we have 5 classrooms. Each group will have their own classroom space. And this is just a shot that the school took for me. So we would obviously have one student at each desk and have the desk space. They're on wheels. We can move them wherever we want to. Our swimming options, so we had planned on putting an outdoor pool on the property, but due to the COVID situation, we were not able to obtain permitting. So for this summer, swimming is optional, and we will swim at the old Boston Sports Club on Bedford Street in Lexington. And interestingly enough, that's where our camp actually opened in 1991, and we stayed at that site for 11 years, so we know it very well. And we have rented the entire aquatics facility for 1 hour. We will be the only people in there, just our staff, just our campers. And it's an indoor heated pool, but swimming will be optional because during swim, the campers will not wear masks. And there are some families that are not comfortable with that. So we will make it optional. It is a very short bus ride from Minuteman. It's about 6 to 8 minutes of a ride. And we will be there from 11 to 12 during the morning periods. There are 3 morning periods and 3 afternoon periods. We break at 10 o'clock in the morning for a snack outdoors. And these are some of the activities that we have. For non-physical activities, we have things like arts and crafts, and we have nature craft and theater games, and we'll have some quiet distance, socially distanced games. We'll have a new activity in the afternoon, obstacle course, which will be spaced out water activities. And then we'll be trying to do all of the sports that we can within the guidelines. And we know that we can do archery and golf and lacrosse and pickleball and pillow polo. And then we'll make some adaptations to soccer to sort of make it work within the guidelines. So there's a physical activity component and there's a non-physical activity component. And again, the day camp will be predominantly outdoors, except when it rains or it's extremely hot out. During these, there are some restrictions for day camps this year, of course, and we will be following them all explicitly to the letter. The sort of the NPI types of measures that we are going to take are all the campers and all the staff will be in masks all the time, except for snack, lunch, and swimming. We will be distancing everyone 6 feet and doing hand washing and sanitizing as much as physically possible. And the groups will stay together as a cohort with their counselors all day. And we will not be mingling groups, which is something we normally do and we enjoy doing. So we're a relatively small day camp with never more than 100 campers on campus. And so everybody knows everybody, and there's usually about 10 groups, and the groups kind of mingle. But this year we will need to be keeping them separate. We are also in the final stages of exploring on-site testing for the camp, and we're staying current on all the regulations. So I would encourage you that if you have questions tonight, I'm happy to answer them when the time is appropriate. And this is the contact information below our website, my email address, my phone number. I realize it's a very difficult time to pick summer programming for your children, and I have a great appreciation for that. We're going to try to do everything we can to offer them a summer experience that is fun and engaging and safe. And last summer was the first summer that I hadn't been to camp since I was 8 years old. And I don't want to ever spend a summer like that again. So I'm glad we're going to be open with restrictions, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have at any time. Thank you.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's a great presentation. I love all the details you've shared. So any parent have any questions you want to ask? You can just basically unmute yourself. I have a question about, I think the tennis camp you have, is that a separate camp or it's part of the day camp?
It's in the same location, but it operates as a separate entity. So the tennis campers come into camp. We do morning announcements kind of sort of on the field, and then they go to the tennis courts and they have their warm up, their lessons. They break at 10 o'clock for a snack, and
Mhm.
then they go back on the courts. And some campers leave before lunch. And then the campers that stay, they don't do tennis in the afternoon. We don't sort of believe in 6 hours a day of tennis for any children. So they do camp activities in the afternoon with their coach from the morning.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So any other questions? Okay, so maybe I have another question actually. So you don't have like provide bus transportation, right? Rather other than the bus to and from the old BSC, right?
Yeah, so we used to offer transportation, but it wasn't being used as much. So it's the parents drop off and pick up, and we have, of course, whether it's COVID or not, we have quick drop off, quick pickup. They pull up and we help get the camper out of the car, and then they go off to work, and then they come back at 3:30 to pick up. Yes.
Okay, got it. Yeah, there's a question in the chat. The swimming option, do the kids need to know swimming before?
No.
No. Okay.
So this is the tricky part. So the guidelines are written so that we're not supposed to technically offer swim lessons, but we will have our staff in the pool and we'll have lifeguards on the deck. And if the camper is not water safe, we will either provide them with a life jacket or a noodle or a kickboard, and we will provide coaching, and we'll let them practice whenever we can. We won't call it swim lessons, but we will have coaching for the campers. Normally we have a very large swim